In our previous lessons, we've been talking about mitosis and meiosis, the process where we make cells for asexual reproduction, as well as the process where we make cells for sexual reproduction. Today, we're going to speak about the male reproductive system. This is the system that in males is able to produce gametes or sex cells that can then be used for fertilization to produce offspring. The male reproductive system has three main functions. It produces gametes. In the case of males, those gametes are sperm. It produces hormones that regulate the male reproductive system. And it is also able to fertilize the female for reproduction, meaning the male is able to transfer his gamete to the female so that the male and female gametes can combine to form offspring. Below you have a diagram of the structures of the male reproductive system. You must be able to label this diagram for the regions. And now we'll start with the structures of the male reproductive system. If we go back 2 slides, we have the functions. Again, we need to be able to make gametes, make hormones, and fertilize the female. So we'll see that the male reproductive system is especially structured to be able to fulfill these 3 functions. The first function we'll speak about is the testicles. Singular for that is testes. The male has 2 testes. They produce the male gametes. They also produce male hormones such as testosterone. And what testosterone does is that it allows the male reproductive tissue to grow. It also allows for the development of secondary sexual characteristics, such as the growth of bone, muscle, and body hair. After that, we have the scrotum. That's a pouch that holds the testicles, and they're held outside the body so that they'll be at a slightly lower temperature than body temperature. This allows for the proper production of sperm. Just going back to that, the human body is very concerned about being able to produce offspring. So our body is going to have special adaptations or traits to increase the chance that a baby is formed. So the body wants to be sure that it's able to produce gametes. Then the epididymis and vas deferens are organs. They're not where the gametes are made, but they help in the transfer and development of the gametes. The epididymis is where the gametes are stored and become mature. Then once the gametes or the sperm are all mature, they'll pass into the vas deferens, which are tubes that will then transport the sperm eventually to be able to get out of the body. Next, we have other accessory glands called the prostate and seminal vesicles. They add fluid to the sperm. This gives the sperm nourishment and allows them to travel. And then finally, you have the urethra, which is a tube that will allow the sperm to exit the body. And in the case of the human, or just biologically speaking, hopefully be able to fulfill the sperm's goal of fertilizing an egg and producing offspring.